Taehyung and you had been married for the past 6 months. He's always called towards you, so you spend most of your time with his friends. He's a workaholic, but gets you anything you ask for. You love him a lot, but you always feel distant towards him. You never felt that he treats you like his wife. In certain points of your relationship, he maintains a distance from you. Even after 6 months, you both never shared intimate moments. The one time you kissed each other was on your wedding day. You wanted to take your relationship to next level, but his cold gaze sometimes scare you. So you are giving him time to make a decision. Why? Taehyung growled in a daring tone as tears formed in your eyes, hearing his dominant growl. Taehyung forcefully grabbed your wrist and pulled you towards himself, making you land on his hard chest. Taehyung lifted you up in air and threw you on his shoulder, making you hit his back with your tiny fist, from which he was unbothered as ever. As usual, it was late night and the maids were long gone. However, the guards were at the entrance and you were alone with Taehyung. Taehyung carried you to the bedroom. However, tears streamed down your eyes, hitting his back with all your strength. Taehyung, put me down. Let me go. Taehyung, put me down. Leave me, Taehyung, please. Your breath stopped as you reached the bedroom. Taehyung kicked the door closed with his foot and threw you on the bed, making you crawl back immediately. His eyes were dark as hell and his fists were clenched as veins were popping out. You started to cry even more loudly, hugging your knees seeing him like that. That was the only thing you could do. You squeezed your tiny self in the corner of room, curling up in a ball, crying like there's no tomorrow. There was a long silence, a silence which was filled with your cries and sobs, a silence which was making you scared even more by every past second. Wayan, Taehyung yelled out your name, making you slowly lift your head up, still sobbing along with hiccups. Taehyung was standing still on the same spot, not moving an inch. His fists were still clenched, but then your heart shattered into pieces as your eyes fell on his face. Tears streaming down his eyes as he kept whimpering, moving his shoulder up and down along. Your brows knitted in utter confusion. Why is he crying? Taehyung bit his lower lip as he spoke up while hiccuping. What do you want me to do then? You harshly gulped, seeing him sob and stutter like that. Your heart ached seeing him in that state. The last time Taehyung tried to force himself on you, you gave him a silent treatment as you were too much traumatized by it. The boy felt helpless at this point. He didn't know what to do. You don't listen to him, and when he gets angry, things become worse. Taehyung tried to show his love to you, but never got a response. It hurted him too, but he still waited and waited and waited, hoping you would love him one day, try to understand him. Poor boy just wanted to be loved too. Taehyung sat on the bed on his knees right across you. What do you want me to do then? Taehyung face-palmed himself, bursting into tears, and your eyes were fixed on him, not really knowing what you should do. I love you and want to spend my life with you. I tried to show my best side to you. I didn't ask for a lot. I just... Taehyung inhaled a sharp breath, but again burst into tears. Tears also rolled down your eyes at the genuine confession. He seemed to say the truth as he wasn't avoiding eye contact. Why don't you ever listen to me? I don't like it when you're with guys. You managed to speak in defense in low tone. But he's just a friend. Taehyung's teary eyes pierced into yours. Then why his hands were on your waist? He said, pressing the words, making you crouch your brows. On my waist? Taehyung let out a cough in disbelief, still denying it. You don't like it when I touch you, when I'm your husband. And you're okay if he touches you when he's your so-called friend? Taehyung almost yelled at you and then tilted his head, wiping his tears with the backside of his hands. You were still in utter confusion, trying to process everything. After a long break, Taehyung broke up the silence, breaking your heart in pieces. His words made your heart ache and so left your body. It felt like something precious was snatched away from you. You know what, Ryan? Leave. Just leave. I'm letting you go. You're free to go. Jisoo came from the restroom only to see Baekhyun standing alone in the crazy crowd with his head hung low. She rushed towards him and she didn't see you around anywhere. Baekhyun, she called out his name but didn't get a response. Baekhyun? This time, Jisoo shook him all over to get him back at his senses. Huh? Jisoo worriedly asked, Where is Ryan? Baekhyun let out a sigh. Her husband took her away. Jisoo's eyes widened as she grabbed his collar. Husband? You mean Taehyung? Baekhyun gave a slight nod and pulled himself away from her grip. I'm leaving. With that, he left while Jisoo was in utter shock. He rushed outside and took her phone from the car. She dialed Jin's number immediately. Yes, love? Jisoo cutted him off. Jin? She let out a plead, making him worried. Yeah, what's wrong? Jisoo explained him the whole thing. You do now? Jin let out a sigh. Where are you now? Jisoo gulped. I'm still at the club, Jin hummed. Okay, then I'll come pick you up. Jin and Jisoo came to Seoul together in the morning as Jin had some personal affairs to take care of. What? Then what about Ryan? Jin pursed his lips together. It's their personal matter now, Chu. If we get involved, then things might get worse. Jisoo bit her lips. But it's because of me. Jin sighed again. Jisoo, let them take care of it. Believe me, everything will be alright. Jisoo let out a nod in understanding. Fine, Jin smiled. I'll be there then. Jisoo hummed and cut off the call. You know what, Ryan? Leave. Just leave. I'm letting you go. You're free to go. Your heart shattered into tiny bits as you heard those words from his mouth. It felt like someone stabbed you right in your heart. Taehyung gave you the biggest happiness by confessing his feelings for you, and at the same time completely ripped you apart, asking you to leave him. This isn't what you wanted. You both didn't want this. Tears kept streaming down your eyes as you were staring in his expressionless eyes, which became hard to read. He didn't want to let you go, and you didn't want to leave either. But then all this. You both were tearing up, staring into each other's eyes, trying to read what's written in the deep ocean inside. All of a sudden, Taehyung took your hands in his and spoke up, bringing his face closer to yours. I promise, I'll never hurt you. I'll leave this mafia work too. If you want, Ryan. I don't want you to love me back, but just stay with me. His last word came like a whisper as he joined his forehead with yours, bursting into tears. However, your mind was still stuck over what happened. A moment ago, he asked you to leave, and now he is asking you to stay. What's going on? Your heart flattered when Taehyung made those promises. Those are the things you exactly wished for. A wedding, a normal and happy life with your loved one. That's what every girl dreams of. A loving husband who spends his whole life with you, getting all together, and things like that is what everyone wishes for. You closed your eyes, letting your tears fall out of your eyes, feeling each other's breath only. The silence was peaceful, a reassuring, a heartwarming, a healing one. Hearing no words from you, Taehyung finally gave up. He moved back and let out the words in between his hiccups. I'll come back in the morning. Leave before I change my mind. Taehyung was taking deep breaths, probably trying to hold in tears. He turned around slowly, creaking back to the edge of the bed. That's when you reacted. You loved him and can't let him go, no matter what he did and how he is. You love him and he loves you. Nothing else should matter at this moment. You didn't want to live in regret by not confessing your feelings. You also wanted to grow old with him. Both of you wanted the same thing. You back-hugged him, making him stop at his place. Your face nuzzled in his neck and you called out his name. Taehyung, as you burst into tears at the thought of leaving him. He was just like air. You couldn't breathe without him. Taehyung quickly turned around hearing your cries. What's wrong? He cupped your face, sitting on his knees with knitted brows. You shook your head as you let out a chuckle while crying. Taehyung's brow crushed even more. Taehyung let his hand slip down. You are happy to leave me? The boy had the most pitiful expression on his face at this moment. It seemed like he would burst out any moment. You quickly cupped his face as those words escaped his mouth in a bitter tone. Your fingers under his ears while your thumbs brushed his wet cheeks. No, you fool. You took a deep breath. I love you too, you said, making eye contact, and the expression on his face was priceless. His cheeks lifted up as more tears escaped his eyes. You do? The boy asked, letting out a whimper, not believing what you said. I know, you're just saying it to not make me feel bad. His head hung low as he let out an upset sigh, wiping his tears with the backside of his hands. Not knowing what to do, without thinking much, you pressed your lips on his, making his eyes pop out at your sudden movement. His hands cupped your face and coordinated, not wanting to hold back. You both kissed each other like there's no tomorrow, tears still streaming down your eyes. You broke the kiss soon after and attached your forehead with his. I love you, Taehyung. Yes, I love you and I won't ever leave you. I am and I will forever be yours. I'm yours, Taehyung. Taehyung let out a soft chuckle at your words. You didn't know either to laugh or to cry at this moment. It felt like the whole world stopped around you. And the person you love loves you back. That's the most beautiful feeling in the world. The world is cruel, but love is delight. The two of you together only can make your lives heaven. Taehyung hesitantly let his body fall into your embrace like a little kid scared of something. He feared of losing you, and that's why he was like that. But knowing you loved him too, he felt like the most blessed person in the world. Taehyung nuzzled his face in the crook of your neck, and you let your face nuzzle in his. After a long heartwarming moment, Taehyung spoke up. Don't forget your punishment. It is still there. Taehyung said all of a sudden. What? Taehyung let out a chuckle at your reaction as he nuzzled himself more into you. You slapped his arm playfully. Don't you tease me ever again, you said in a strict tone, and Taehyung broke the hug, meeting your eyes as a red tint which was already on your cheeks turned into beautiful crimson red color, making Taehyung smile widely. I'm not teasing, princess. You crossed your arms as you harshly gulped, avoiding eye contact. Taehyung leaned closer to you as you shook your head, moving back. Yeah, don't you? You were now laid on the bed while Taehyung's figure hovering above you. Yes, no, yes, no, no, yes, gotcha. You covered your mouth as soon as yes came out from your mouth. Taehyung had a white smirk plastered on his face as he started to tickle you, making you giggle loudly. Taehyung, don't! Out of the blue, Taehyung smashed his lips on yours, making your eyes wide open at his sudden action. His hand cupped your face as he was slowly changing patterns. His lips moved on yours in a gentle way. Not able to hold yourself back, you kissed back, making his cheeks lift up. Taehyung, your hands unconsciously grabbed on his muscular arms as he completely unzipped the dress. It's gonna be a long night, princess.